And I think we're live.
Hello.
Happy Halloween, everybody. It's NaNoWriMo Eve, and I'm here with some friends to help you bring it in. Ew, my boyfriend's hair is on this cup, which is way scarier than anything else. Ugh. I have my coffee. I have Scrivener open. I have this mask on my face that's not going to stay. What'd you guys do for Halloween? Because this is what I'm doing. This is it.
Yeah, I was just on a Dungeons and Dragons stream on Twitch.
Nice.
For the last 2 hours, so.
Aren't you tired of being in front of the camera?
That is an audio-only stream, so.
Nice.
It wasn't that much of a problem. I actually put my makeup on during that because I didn't wear makeup today. But
I forgot to put on my lip goop.
I babysat Victor after he got out of school and helped him do homework and then watched the cartoon TV show of Ghostbusters, which Victor loves. And then my daughter and her boyfriend came to pick him up, and she got him dressed. They were all dressed up, and they went to go trick-or-treating. And then I went and did a quick video in my Facebook group. And then I've been doing some outlining and some journal preparation, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
My day has been absolutely unremarkable. I've done nothing, and I'm okay with it. Sometimes it be like that.
I made coffee and made dinner and cleaned a little. My husband did dishes.
Well, it's like 4:44 here, so I'll be making dinner after this. It's gonna be spooky pasta. It's not spooky.
Oh,
it's just Alfredo.
We had breakfast for dinner.
Brenner's the best.
Yes. And after this, I'll be officially in NaNoWriMo because it is 10:45 here.
Excellent. I'm putting on lipstick so I won't feel naked. So no trick-or-treaters come to my house.
we don't have a light. Like, our light is broken in front of our house. So we literally can't have trick-or-treaters.
Aww.
And it's like the wiring is broken. We can't just put a new bulb in it.
One year we bought like a bunch of candy for days, and had our light on, and I was so excited, and no one came. I think it's because our apartment's kind of on the side of the house, and I don't think that they could see it from the street. And I was like, oh. So I didn't get to see any cute kids in their costumes. So after that, I was like, listen, we can't buy 5 bags of candy. We're going to give them away. We're not giving them away.
Words fail or fall. I can't. My glasses.
Yeah, it's fall.
She went to a Halloween Zumba party dressed up. That's pretty cool.
That's fun.
I have not done Zumba, but it looks really fun.
I don't exercise.
Hey, Persephone.
I walk.
Oh, hi, Persephone.
I have all kinds of plans of exercise that I don't actually make happen. So
I have to walk places downtown because I work in a downtown area. So I have to walk around to get places, but I don't decide to exercise very often.
All right. She said autumn. We can say autumn. And she said y'all. So she must be somewhere south like me.
I can't remember where she's from. Where are you from, Autumn?
I can't either.
Oh, and we're listening to scary Halloween music from Dark Music World. If you can hear that in the background.
She's from Arkansas.
A friend of mine worked in Arkansas for a while. I think she lived in a dry county, so She was bummed she couldn't have wine.
It's hard to believe that they still have places. There's a place in Louisiana, a friend of mine's friend, that is a dry county, that they still have dry county.
You know, I don't need to drink all the time, but if I want to get wine or some beers or whatever, I want to be able to go and do that.
Right.
Me too.
Oh my goodness. So are y'all ready for NaNoWriMo? I can't believe, like, how did this happen? How are we at Halloween already?
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like this month just flew past.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's already Nano.
Hi, baby.
So are we going to introduce ourselves, or did?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I didn't know what you wanted to do. My name is Burgess Taylor. I'm a creative queen. Yeah, I like that. I'm a writer and an artist and a journaler and a blogger and a coffee enthusiast. A lover of all things coffee. And I'm in South Carolina.
Okay. I'm Sarah Scheinlover. I am primarily a horror author. Yeah, and I have a YouTube channel, and that's about it. I'm not terribly interesting.
You're super interesting.
I'm something.
We're all something.
I didn't turn my lights on. I should turn my lights on. They're supposed to be on.
And if you're here on my channel, my name is Tamara. I used to write a lot of poetry, but I've since started just concentrating on writing cozy mysteries and women's fiction. And this is, gosh, like my 7th or 9th year of Nano. I can't remember, but this is my something year of Nano. I feel like I've been doing it forever, but it's because I love it. And we're going to be bringing you into NaNoWriMo for the East Coast and for Central Standard Time. I'm in Hawaii, so I'm like 6 hours behind the East Coast, and I'm not going to make people be up here on this live stream until like 6 a.m. It's fine. And unnecessary. We don't have to do all that. But I thought it'd be fun.
I'm sorry. What was the first year you participated in NaNoWriMo?
2011? 9? I'm not sure because I kind of half-heartedly participated when I was. Did I do it when I was living in Wheeling? That was 2003. Has it been around that long? I have no idea. The last date that's on the website, I'm not sure if that's accurate because at one point something happened.
I think it didn't keep track. Yeah, I think it didn't keep track for a while because I have several years I know I did it that aren't in here.
Yeah, so I can't really remember. But when I first started doing it, I was just kind of like, not really into it. Like, it was just something kind of fun. And I hadn't really discovered like the community aspect of it, or I hadn't really dove deep into it. So I can't quite remember, which is, well, I'm old.
The first year I participated was 2002. And I got a week into it and my computer crashed. And then it was a few years later, I tried it again, and I don't know what something happened that year too. And then I was like, well, God. So then I was like, oh, well, damn. So then about, I guess it was 7 years ago, when David and I first moved into this house, it was right before Halloween. And so I participated, but I don't know if the website logged it. But I started watching, that's when I started watching the YouTube videos. And for, I don't know, 2 years, I guess, give or take, I lurked on YouTube. And it took me that long to start the YouTube channel with the NaNoWriMo stuff. But I remember in that very first year of participating in NaNoWriMo, and then we went into the next year and I did the camps, and then I did NaNoWriMo again, and it was the community, and I was like, oh, I love this. I love this. You didn't feel so alone.
Yeah, the community aspect really did it for me. It was just made it that much more fun. And I've met a few friends who like to kind of compete a little bit to see who can get the most words in a day or whatever, who can keep actually doing it every day without, like, you know, dropping the what's the thing, like, it's a phrase people use.
So Persephone's been doing it for 14 years.
Yeah, I think I've done it 12 or 13. But
I did it for a long time, but not consecutively for that first, like, decade. You know?
Yeah, see, according to the site, it has tracked me for 7 years. And I think that I tried when I was living in Wheeling in 2003, and then another time in between there. All right, I'm going to tweet out this link.
Sarah, have you been doing it consecutively every year?
I don't know if I've done it every year. It says on here that I've done it for about 11 years. I'm not sure if that might be, maybe I'm wrong. It seems like I've been doing it for forever though, because like I was in college when I started doing it. So it's like really, like, it just seems like I've always done it because I've done it most of my adult life.
Autumn said she did 2006 and 16 and 17. She won 16. Persephone said she messed up in 2009. She said she wrote, but she didn't validate. Yeah, I've done that. Been there, done that too.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like, validating, you know, the actual words doesn't actually matter, blah, blah, blah. But there's something really disheartening after you've done all the work and then something happens. Because I remember one year I was not live streaming, I was vlogging it on here, and something happened at the last minute, and like there was this whole bunch of stuff and it didn't validate, and I had to like email them. And I felt stupid because I'm like, does this really matter? And I was like, well, yeah, actually it does. I've been working on this for 30 days. I want the little blue badge on my profile.
Right.
Honestly, just so I can remember when I actually won.
Yeah.
Right. I earned it, damn it.
Technical difficulties do suck, and that was my very first NaNoWriMo experience. Was a week into it, my computer crashed, and that's why I have said in all those NaNoWriMo preps ever since then, even though I didn't do it for a few years, like here and there, back up.
Oh yeah, that is golden advice. Just for anything, really. If it's important to you, back it up. Something will happen. My God. I don't know how many laptops I've gone through. Knock on wood.
Yeah, and another piece of advice would be to get an IT guy. Even if he's not like a dude you keep on the payroll, just know a guy who you can pay to take care of your stuff when it does go wrong.
I make sure to have a really good warranty.
Yeah. Yeah, just like have someone you can go to. Like, it doesn't have to be a dude, obviously. That was not a gender thing. That was a guy thing. Like, but yeah, like have someone you can take it to who can get your stuff off of it. Because almost never is it actually gone. Like, you might not be able to get to it, but it's almost never actually gone.
Right.
So know someone who you can go, even if it's, you know, just a guy you pay or like an office you pay or whatever. Like, just make sure it's like you know where to go.
Fortunately, the boyfriend is pretty handy when it comes to nerdy things. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's able to like get my information off, and then I'll send it off because of warranty.
Yeah.
Persephone's husband is an IT guy.
Nice.
She's got it made.
That's like perfect.
There are these people who work in the office that I work at's basement who do IT if I really needed it, but they're like $400 an hour, no joke. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't have that.
My husband's best friend was our IT guy. He built my computer for me, but he now lives in like Pennsylvania or something.
Yeah, that would be more difficult.
That's quite the haul.
My nephew, though, is really good, and he only lives like an hour and 45 minutes away. So from now on, it will be my nephew.
It pays to have someone, especially if you can get that for free or dinner.
Right.
You know.
I'll just bring Jacob some Starbucks and
there you go.
Take him to dinner. He's a chef, though, so me taking him to dinner, maybe I'll get him to cook me dinner and fix my computer.
That's perfect. Perfect for you. I don't know how perfect you are.
I'm going to grace you with my presence. You're going to do things.
That's right.
It's going to be delicious.
Aunt. I am the crazy aunt.
Yeah, with a boyfriend, I'm like, how about some donuts, some Mountain Dew, and other unhealthy stuff, and then you make stuff happen on this black box right now, and he goes for it.
Yeah. Autumn said Google Docs saves on its own. I don't use Google Docs. I save my Scrivener and my Word stuff to Dropbox. I email it to myself. In Scrivener, I compile it, so I make it a Word document and email it to myself, so that even if I lose the Scrivener project, which I can save in Dropbox, I still have the actual writing, and it goes to my emails so that I'll have it if I need it.
I need to connect my Scrivener to my Dropbox. It was at one point, but I've gone through a couple of computers.
Me too.
So I forget to do things like that. I wonder where. Oh, that's something I'll look up later. I'm like, I wonder where I could do that right now while we're doing this live stream. Perfect.
Yeah, that's what I was doing when I was looking for how long I'd been on Nano. I was like, oh, I wonder about this. And I'm like, stop. I should update this book I wrote last year. No, don't do that.
But I'm thinking of it right now.
Right. I haven't done it any other time.
Persephone said, never written on Google Docs. That might be a good way to get a backup version of your work in progress. Yeah, I haven't written on Google Docs either.
I'm not personally a fan of writing in my browser. So
I like to close things up because I easily distract myself with all things internet.
See, and I actually watch I know this is crazy. I watch television while I'm writing, and so I have a browser open, but I don't want to have two browsers open. That's gonna make my computer so tired.
I usually we have the PS4, and I will go on YouTube and find a really long vlog and just have it playing in the background, just so it's like sound,
Yeah, you're talking about my videos again, aren't you? You said long one, and I went, oh.
Mm. Yeah. This one dude, Peter Mon, he does vlogs that are like an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, he just be talking. You think you could talk, girl? He has a lot to say every day. I don't know how he does it. And he puts out vlogs like every day.
I like listening to them, and I like podcasts. But I have to be careful about what I listen to. Like, I can't listen to music that has lyrics if it's something I'm going to sing along with, because I'll start singing along and then I'll start typing along and I'll end up typing the lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to be careful. Like, if it's something that can play in the background and I don't really, like, if it's a movie or a TV show I've watched over and over again, like, I could watch a documentary on any one of the, like, Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime, and if it's that monotone voice, not pay any attention to it and write. But if it's something I'm actually going to pay attention to, you can forget it. I'll end up writing whatever it is they're saying.
Yeah, I get too distracted and I'll sing along and start just paying attention to, ooh, what's going to come up next? Ooh.
I only have a problem if I'm unfamiliar with it, because I actually will focus on it to figure out what's going on. If I'm familiar with it, then it doesn't. In fact, if you like watch my live streams, especially like during Nano, I'll have music playing and you'll see me typing and singing. Like, I'll be like lip syncing, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm on camera. I probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I can't do it. I cannot. I can't multitask like that.
I have ADHD, and I'm telling you, there is some things I can multitask like nobody's business, and other things not at all.
Yeah.
I wish I could, because I sure would be lip syncing while I wrote too.
But when I'm editing, I can listen to whatever and it doesn't bother me. But if I'm just doing the draft, I can't do it. Do y'all
That's
know
funny,
what you're
because I have a
working
harder
on?
time when I'm editing.
Really? When I'm editing, I don't know, it's like I can deep dive into it, even though I hate it. I love hate now. I don't hate it as much.
I appreciate it and despise it.
Yeah.
It's terrible, but you gotta.
Do y'all know what you're working on next month? Or tomorrow, like 2 hours, 1 hour?
I don't know. I'm gonna write in Y Writer. I thought it would be fun.
Y Writer.
Yeah, that's what I'm dissecting the fantasy I wrote last year, down like all of the pieces to make sure that I know who does what and everything, because the more I think about the story, the more I anticipate that this is not the last story that's going to be in that world, so I'm going to want to keep track of it. So I'm like dissecting it and putting, characters and like what they are and how they work and all that, and keeping all logs of that in on Gryffindale. And so I was like, well, why don't I just write in this and see how that works out? So I'm going to try it. It might that might ruin my Nano. We'll see.
Well, I hope not.
We'll see.
I hope
it's worth a shot.
Awesome.
What's another year? Whatever.
It feels like it's just part of life these days.
Well, and now there's like 4 nanos a year or whatever.
Yeah, because
there's the April and then there's 2 camps, right? Because April used to be script.
April is camp. July
is April a camp now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, April's a camp.
Okay, because I knew that they had switched script frenzy or whatever over into another nano, but I didn't realize it was an actual camp.
And then, isn't there like the Etmo month? Isn't that January? Though I don't know if they actually do a thing for it.
I don't know if they do anything for it or not, but I know that that's the big thing in January is the editing.
Let's see. Autumn uses Pandora. I do too.
I like Pandora a lot. Although, if you listen to my station, you would be certain I was not the only one listening to it. Like, it's absurd.
All of my stations are, like, about a certain group.
See, I have an office job, so I have my Pandora playing at work, too. So I have a channel that's just, like, the music that I like, and it's all of it. So it's not like sectioned off. So it's just like anything I like goes there. And then I have channels that are actually specific to stuff too, but I have like a base channel. But I don't think I can write to that channel. I have to find something more because that one's real strange. Like, it goes from like the Deo song to like Weird Al to like Alice in Chains to like Marilyn Manson. Like it's very, very strange, and you can't keep writing what you're writing if all of a sudden you're dancing to like, you're like murdering someone in a scene and then you're dancing, and that doesn't work out very well.
I listen to Rainy Moods a lot, and then I'll put in like I'll add into it a musical soundtrack, like some like maybe the Braveheart soundtrack or Harry Potter or something like that to listen to with the Rainy Moods. Like I can listen to ambient music.
Yeah, I like that too.
So that's what I 1 year, in order to prep for it, I was listening to the Supernatural soundtrack because it had all these 70s classic rock, and I'm jamming because I had some action scenes and I was trying to get prep for it, but I wasn't actually writing, and I was doing the prep work by hand writing. So I'm jamming to it. I can listen to word music. So if I want to get prepped for something, I can listen to that, and I want some kind of action themed music. But if I'm actually doing the writing, it can't have. And I think Spotify has some pretty good ambient sound music.
Yeah,
I listen to their chill. Like they have a few chill out things, and they have some good ones that are for studying and for concentration. And they generally don't have a lot of words, which is like perfect for me. And I'll listen to instrumental classical music, but it can't be any takes on modern songs because then my brain just inserts the lyrics. And so it's just like listening to the song, except my brain's singing it.
Yeah, I could see that.
I was listening to one channel, and I think that I didn't know the first few songs, and all of a sudden I realized, like, oh, this is Adele. I'm singing along in my brain. This isn't working out. I'm not paying attention to what my characters are doing.
Yeah, I think I might even have a harder time with that than with the lyrics being there.
Yeah,
I think like I would be so focused on filling it in that my brain would just not be able to function.
Right? It's just like, no, we're doing this now. We're singing. We're on the Grammys tonight. We're not doing this writing thing.
So Autumn said if she wins Nano, she's her reward is a tattoo.
Nano award.
Her station stays hits and Zoom to station. I didn't do the reward. Like I'm not going to do the winter shirt. I don't really like the winter shirt. I like the regular one for this year. So I got it and the mug. If I win, I don't know. I don't know. Usually it's like a fountain pen, or it's I try to make it something like fun and that is sort of writing, or at least what I do related. You're going to love the shirt, Persephone. It actually has these little supply things that you would use during NaNoWriMo. It looks like little, yeah, I think my shirt's in the laundry. It's in the dirty laundry. But I don't know. I think maybe sometimes it's a pen, sometimes it's something. Cheryl says she's super into Nano this year. I don't know what I want to do for Nano this year. I haven't considered my reward.
Do you give yourself a reward, Sarah?
Not usually. Sometimes, like 1 year when I won, my husband bought me the shirt. I didn't know it, so that was nice.
That's very nice.
Once in a while, I'll like do something on December 1st just to like celebrate that I'm done, but nothing technically to reward me winning. But I actually like rarely don't win because I have like this weird competitive streak with myself. Like I don't care about anyone else, but I'm really like, I'm an asshole when it comes to if I said I was going to do something. So
My birthday is December 6th. So I never really think about Nano. I go directly from Nano to birthday.
Yeah.
This year, I'd really, really, really like to go to Maui if we can. If we can somehow magic up enough money to afford it. Oh, I think that this is going to maybe possibly be like our last winter here.
Up, Sky is here.
Hello.
I don't.
Let me go over to see what's happening.
Did I miss something? I didn't even see her.
I'll join in the chat after it's over. Oh.
How can she join in the chat after it's over?
It'll be over. The new Netflix Sabrina.
Oh, after the show is over.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess she's going to watch it, finish an episode.
I'm like, how can you? It'll be over. Duh. Oh, I got 45 minutes before Nano starts.
It's awesome. I can't believe it. I can't believe we're here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I should be actually outlining right now. Yeah. I haven't finished it.
Well, I mean, do y'all want to take like 15 minutes of prep work?
We don't have to. I'm going to do it along. It doesn't, we don't have to. I was just saying.
I have no problem with that. I don't know that anyone else would have a problem with it.
But that's cool. I mean, if you want to, we can. If not,
There's like a hair that was right
what
here.
You're writing. Oh, they want to know what we're writing.
I am finishing my novella called Wiped Out, and then I'll be finishing my cozy novel. So that's what I'm doing. I'm a nano rebel this year. I'm not starting anything new. I want to finish everything. So
I'm the pantsiest pantser, so I have literally no idea.
You're full on pantser.
Yeah, I have no clue.
I am a plantser.
I have a question there.
Yeah.
You are full on pantser and you write, did you say fantasy?
I accidentally wrote a fantasy last NaNoWriMo. I usually write horror.
Okay. Horror as in like what's his name? The guy that influenced Stephen King. I can't think of his name. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, Lovecraft?
His writing sucks, but I like the premise behind the stuff.
Yep. That's exactly how I feel about him.
I like Stephen King. I like suspense horror. Like, I don't like bloody horror, but I love suspense horror.
Yeah, I like both. I'm not, as I get older, my ability to imagine what injuries would feel like increases, and that is becoming more difficult. So, like, if they say, like, he fell and broke his leg, that doesn't, whatever, I just move on, but if they're like, the bone breaks and there's blood everywhere and they're explaining like the pieces of bone fragments and nope, that's too much for me. Like, now I'm freaking out. So, and I'll write it, but like, it's definitely not my favorite thing. And, like, honestly, this is, Stephen King once said, like, if you can't get them like in a suspense place, get them in the gross out. So, and I don't necessarily disagree with that.
Hey, Cheryl. I just saw that you were here.
Persephone said she's working on 2 works in progress in her Big Bad series, and she wants to get at least 25,000 on each. She writes dark, erotic, paranormal romance. I'm waiting for her Big Bad series to get done.
Ain't that the truth?
And I'm waiting on Tamara's book to be paperback or hardback, so I can get a signed copy.
Paperback. And my cover designer is just about finished doing the cover for it. So that's going to be happening very, very soon. I'm just going to have to get like a proof copy to make sure it all looks normal. And then we'll go from there. But so that's exciting.
She said she loves her some Lovecraft. Cheryl said she watched A Quiet Place, and that was as much as she can handle. I haven't watched that yet. I just got finished watching A Haunting on Hill House, and I loved it.
Was it scary?
A little, yeah. I thought it was really suspenseful. It was scary, but not super bad scary. Like, there are certain things I cannot watch. Like, David loves horror movies, all kinds of horror movies, and I just am not a horror movie person. But I like movies that are suspenseful. So to me, it was scary in the good kind of way, not scary in the ridiculous, gory, bloody, stupid way, if that makes sense. Like when you watch movies like Saw or some of that, it makes some of it makes no sense to me. So like some of those, if that makes sense. Like I like ghost stories and that kind of horror story and suspense, and I love horror, but I don't like the bloody gory. Doesn't make sense. I don't know if that makes sense.
I liked like gore more when I was younger. I think as I've grown older, I startle easily. Like I don't know. I'm becoming more like my mother.
It might be my age.
And like my mom was infamous. If there was something on that was scary or suspenseful, like every door that would close, she screams, you know, she jumps up, she like runs out of the room. Very, very theatrical. But like I'm becoming that woman. I'm there. Like, my mathematician was like, oh, we should go see some movie. And I was like, I can't go into a theater and see something scary. I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna like jump up. I'm gonna embarrass myself, and I'm not doing that in front of a room full of strangers.
Oh, see, and I find horror movies not torture porn movies, but just like horror, even slasher movies, but not like the full on like everything past Saw 1, and like Hostel and that stuff. Other than that, I'm really into like pretty much all of it. And I'm the kind of person who's like cracking up the whole time. Like I'm in the chair laughing so hard I'm crying. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
That would be my husband. He like you. He likes
My husband used to make horror films. And he made a slasher movie at one, like right when we got married, right before we got married, he made a slasher movie. And that was the first movie he had made. So I'm real dead to it. Like we've made a whole lot of blood in my house, and like we made a bucket of blood to make me carry one year for Halloween, just because I was like, well, you have to pour blood on me because that's the only way to make you look like Carrie is just to pour blood on them.
Facts.
So
absolutely true.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like I don't know, it's a thing. My little brother's the same way though. Like his house is decorated in horror stuff, and he's got small children. And they love it.
Hereditary. I have not watched Hereditary. I was just looking in at the chat.
I've not heard of Hereditary.
Like everything that y'all are mentioning, I'm looking it up so I can remember what the trailer looked like. Oh, I remember looking at the trailer for this.
If you like suspense, I highly recommend a movie called Frozen. It is not the Let It Go movie. It's directed by Adam Green, and it's about 3 kids who get stuck on a ski lift when the place is shut down over the week.
I saw that.
It's fabulous.
That was awesome.
It made all of me hurt.
Yes.
It definitely, oh God, it was so good.
See, I love those kind of movies. I like those kind of movies.
Yeah, see, but the same guy made Hatchet, and I freaking love Hatchet.
But I guess you got to figure, I'm 51 years old. I remember when the first Halloween came out. You know, and I went to see Freddy Krueger. I went to see Nightmare on Elm Street in the movie theater when it first came out. And I came home, and things don't usually cause me to have nightmares like that, but I had such a bad nightmare. I ended up screaming and throwing up. It was like, you know.
Whoa.
So, like, how many times can Michael Myers, I mean, to me, there's no real plot. You know, where's the real, I want a story. With suspense horror, you have a story. You know, when I watch some horror movies, if there's no story, I don't know. It's like I don't know. It has to like make sense, and I have to understand and pick up on the story for me, you know. But like in the very beginning of Halloween, that first movie I thought was good.
Mm-hmm.
For that kind of movie, I thought it was good. Same with Nightmare on Elm Street. But when you get into like 5th and 6th and 7 and 8 and 10, you
13.
know. Right.
Freddy versus Jason.
And I think reasonably speaking, most people know what they're signing up for at that point. Like, I think most people who walk into like the 12th in a series are like, okay, they've now had to one-up themselves 12 times. This is going to be ridiculous. Like, you know, stepping on heads and having them explode like they're pumpkins and stuff. That's just absolutely ridiculous. And that's why I think they're fun, because it's like ridiculous.
I saw the first Nightmare on Elm Street when I was a kid, and the whole idea that there was someone who could enter my dreams and manipulate me was terrifying. I think I was terrified more of the idea of the movie than the actual movie.
I wasn't
to me.
scared of a movie until Pet Sematary, and it wasn't any of the actual Pet Sematary stuff. It was the mom's sister, the ill sister who came after, who like she felt like was coming after her. I don't know, it was in her perception or whatever, but like that sister is the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. And Large Marge.
I do not remember her.
I don't remember the sister either, but it's one of the few that like it just wasn't my cup of tea. Pet Sematary, the book, he did good writing, I thought, but I didn't like it. But I remember watching those kinds of like Carrie and The Exorcist and those scary movies back then. Now, my husband and I just watched something the other night. Tom Hanks was in from way back called Maze and Monsters or Mazes. And I'm like, well, this definitely wasn't the movie that made him big time. but
no, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm like, what? And my husband said, baby, you can switch it anytime now. I think it might be the only Tom Hanks movie I have not seen all the way through. But it was supposed to be they had it on for Halloween.
I believe that's the one that's actually like a satanic panic movie about like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And like that's the point of it, is like that Dungeons and Dragons is the devil.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes, it was a whole thing. Yeah, it was like a whole thing.
What? What is this called? I need to use my Google foo. What is this?
I don't know if it was Mazes and Monsters or
I think
Monsters
it's Mazes and Monsters. I think
Mazes
it's Mazes
and
and
Monsters.
Yeah.
1982. Oh.
But I recognized the clothes because I was in high school in 82. So I'm like, and you know, the stuff that I was like, oh, this part was cool. But then they started getting more and more into it. And my husband was like, baby, you can please turn it.
Bound together by a desire to play Mazes and Monsters, Robbie and his 3 college classmates decide to move the board game into the local legendary cavern. That is a terrible
So Persephone said, Tom Hanks was in an old 80s horror movie called He Knows You're Alone. Might have been one of his very first movies. It's pretty fun about a serial killer going around killing brides to be.
Wow.
I missed that one too then. But you know, it's fun when you can when I read a book, whether it's a suspense book or a horror or a cozy mystery or supernatural paranormal, when I read books, I see it in my head when I'm reading like a movie. You know?
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so when you're watching a movie, I'm doing the opposite. I'm imagining, you know, the actual story, which is, I guess, why I really like. I try to think ahead, what's going to happen, like you do in a book when I watch a movie or a TV show, and so I have to have a storyline that I have to have a good storyline, and I think that's one of the things that I've been concentrating on the last few years with this one novel that I can't seem to finish. Now I've kind of revamped is the storyline. I had good premise and I had some really great ideas, but my storyline lacked enough real tension to keep it interesting. And I think that's what happens with some of the movies we watch. And that's when I was thinking about my novel when I started reading it as a movie on the screen. I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to kill some of my lovelies. I'm going to have to kill some lovelies. I'm going to have to. I mean, it's not with somebody being killed, but after that, like I've got to kill off a couple of more people.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about a cozy. It's kind of expected that whoever's the main murdered person isn't going to necessarily be one of like the in part of the community, you know.
Mhm.
But like I remember reading this one series and it went on for so long that she was also like people were naturally dying and stuff. So it was like there'd be a murder and then someone would die of old age or of a terrible disease or whatever. I was just like, man, you're hitting my heart here. I remember her from the last 7 books. We were friends. Like, oh my gosh, if Janet Evanovich kills off the Grandma Mercer in the Stephanie Plum series, I will cry. I am positive I will cry. I have loved that old woman for like 20 plus books. She has to be a fan favorite at this point. I can't believe how much coffee I've drank in this very short amount of time. It's ridiculous. Like, this is empty.
The only coffee I have in my house is a canister of coffee that I bought for someone else while I was in New Orleans that has been here since then, so for a month now. And I'm out of coffee and I really want it. and I keep contemplating opening it and just being like, you paid a toll.
You paid the toll.
I
waited too long for pickup.
I see your Diet Dr. Pepper cans over there.
Yes.
I used to be a Dr. Pepper fanatic. I love Dr. Pepper. I even had a t-shirt that had Dr. Pepper on it. But my husband and I quit drinking soda. I haven't had a soda in over a year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, since not quite a year. Yeah, it's been a year.
Wow.
January, February will be a year and a half since we had a soda, since we had any soda. But coffee, I drink more water and juice and milk, and the coffee, of course. But lately, I've been into drinking more water. So coffee and smoking are my bad habits. I need to quit at least one of them. I don't think I'm ever going to be quitting coffee, but.
Yeah, I've been on an e-cigarette for 2.5 years, I think now. But I still smoke like 2 cigarettes a month. 1 to 2, depending. So that's If I do any more than that, though, it's over.
Let's see. I quit smoking. 9 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it was accidental. I did not want to quit. Here's the story. My roommate at the time, I had moved into his place because there was a problem with my last apartment. And we ended up being roommates for like 3 years. And he was very staunch that there was no cigarette smoking in the apartment. And like each winter, there was these huge blizzards. And then I didn't smoke in my car because at the time I I was working with people with disabilities and I was often taking them back and forth to work and stuff. So I didn't want to smoke with people in the car and stuff and doing my job. So I just didn't smoke in the car. So it was like I wasn't smoking at home. I wasn't smoking in the car. And it just kind of happened that I just stopped smoking.
We were both quitting. We had both quit for like a little bit. And then last year, and I was doing really well. And then David and my dad both got sick, and my dad's diagnosis with the cancer came back as completely terminal. You know, and they gave him anywhere from a few weeks to a few months. And that was when, you know, that was it for me. And this whole past year, I've been on and off trying to quit. Like I've made it for a total of like 2 days, you know, and then 1 week I made it for like 4 days. So I figure now I smoke half of what I used to smoke. I've cut back. I tried cold turkey. It does not work. Chantix will not work for me because I have ADHD, anxiety, and depression, and I do not take meds. I use cognitive behavioral therapy. So adding a medicine to the mix with those things, nah. So I figure, you know, my best thing is I tried hypnosis. I wish hypnosis would work, but it did not. But I figure I'll just gradually, like what happened with you, Tamara, is that I'll smoke less and less. Like we are about to, and because the weather's going to be getting colder and colder, go to the we don't smoke in the house. Like right now because of NaNoWriMo, but after this, I won't be. So in December is when it starts the no smoking in the house. So the colder it gets, the less I'm going to want to go out there.
Mm-hmm. That's a very good deterrent, let me tell you.
And I already don't smoke in the car hardly ever because Victor rides in my car and my grandson, and I don't want him subjected to that.
I swear, I just smelled smoke. I don't know if there's people like walking by who are smoking or if it's just this conversation.
I don't smoke, but I love cigarettes. Like, I love them. I really do. So I let people smoke in my apartment. I don't care. I like them.
I like, my daughter smokes cloves.
Oh, yeah, I love them.
I used to smoke those, and my husband hates it. I love them. If I smoked those, I'd probably only smoke like a couple because they smell very natural, and they are natural. They don't have all the crap, you know? Mm-hmm. But I want to quit altogether. And, you know, it's funny. I just watched a video, an older video about a writer. He was talking about, was an interview with a writer from way back in the 70s. And the guy had his cup of coffee and he had his cigarette. And I was like, and he was talking about writing. And I was like, yeah. But I'm amazed when it comes to like certain things, they become a habit. Mm-hmm. And now it's when I'm writing, even it's part of my, like, it's almost part of my writing routine ritual thing, which makes it worse.
Yeah.
Persephone likes the smell of cigars. I like the smell of a pipe, especially like cherry tobacco.
Yeah, I like the smell of cherry tobacco. And I like the smell of like someone using a hookah. Those smell neat. Because like it's flavored tobacco stuff they
Right.
use for it, and it always smells good.
Some of our quirks, like as people, like some of the things that we do, it's one of the things that I've been trying lately to do for characters to make my characters less flat, to make them more dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
Adding some quirks,
Mm-hmm.
some personality traits of interest. That's always fun. Especially if they're going to be going with you into other books. It's important to have some type of something for them.
Trying to find a good quirk for my antagonist. That's one of the things I've been working on this past week. The last few days is the character sketch for my antagonist, because I want him to be the guy that you love to hate, kind of, you know? Or the guy that you hate
characters
to
are fun. I'm so hot.
Tell us about your antagonist. Who? I'm still trying to figure mine out.
I don't know anything.
Sarah said she's a complete and utter pantser. She doesn't even know what she's writing yet.
And I can't tell you who the antagonist is, because that's a super spoiler. For
right? That would not work out for you.
No.
Oh, me. Okay, well, I finally let me get the book. I finally wrote down, I think it might actually be in Scrivener. I don't know that I wrote it down in here. Finally figured out the name of the society, the secret society of, I don't want to call them, I just don't want to call them hunters, you know? Mm-hmm. Everybody's got hunters. So I wrote down, it's called Atramentus. It means Adamus. Anyway, I've got to look. There's a word, and it means dark, like cloudy, dark, inky, dark something in Latin. So these are like, that might not be the right word, but it means dark and shadowy, like people that hide behind the like they're in the shadows.
That sounds cool.
So the main guy is actually a distant relative of my main character's family. He was a bastard back when it was not okay to be a bastard. And we're talking like during the burning times in Europe, you know, so that was a big no-no, you know. You could be accused of being a witch if you were a widow and you were a little too happy.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? So how he's lived this long, I haven't figured out, or if it's actually him, or if he's a distant relative of this bastard guy. I'm still working on, I think it would be a little too far-fetched to make him be alive this long, unless he Atramentus, something, yes. So I'm still working on that part, and it's almost midnight. I've got, I don't know, 20 minutes. But I'm not to the antagonist doesn't happen until towards the end of the first act, which is probably why I put that off a little, because I was trying to get the other characters that were in the primary part of the first act. So he is pissed off with this family of hereditary witches who are really powerful and who have some money they've acquired, you know, and their name is a good name in the witchy community, you know. The grandmother is like one of the elders of they all meet up from different states and different countries and stuff, and she's one of the elders. So he's really pissed off, and he has hidden the fact that he is magical. And this is so tropey, but I mean, the basic story is he's hidden it, and he's really pissed off. He doesn't like women. He doesn't like the witchy community, but he is witchy himself. And so he's gone after. He's formed this society. His relatives have, I guess. And he is a hunter of all things supernatural. And this whole society, but him especially, because he's in charge of it, they are killing off all the supernatural. So in the series of books, they're not just killing off witches. They're killing off the fae. They're killing off any were people. They're killing off, you know, I don't know how much of supernatural beings I'm going to put in, like Nephilim. I don't know if I'm going to include vampires. I don't know. But I definitely want things that are, and I don't think I'm going to just use werewolves. I think, I don't know. I'm still working on it. So, but I think the big thing is that a lot of people way back 100, 200, you know, more than that years ago, 300, 400 years ago, things were completely different before a few hundred years ago. You figure when the Puritans were, you know, you weren't allowed to do a lot of the, nowadays, some of the stuff that we have, there is no way in hell. You know, and if you come from a mindset of no, 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 you can't, and then you have somebody like my antagonist who is ostracized from birth over something he had nothing to do with. So we won't make him be the actual original person. But he's ostracized for something from the witchy community he has absolutely no control over. It's something his ancestor did. So that's where I'm at. That's all I have right now. Right here, shame about his birth, denial.
It sounds like a good start, though.
Did I pick a genre? Right now, it's just paranormal. Maybe a little bit of, I don't know. Puritans were super strict and very repressed.
Are you going to have a romance element to it or not?
Yeah, there's a yeah, there's a subplot. But for the main character, I haven't worked that out very well either yet. I'm still working on some of it. Like I have all of the main character stuff except the subplot. I have the mentor and a lot of all of that worked out. Like I even have all of the main things in the hero's journey plotted out by like 2 sentences. So I don't do heavy duty outlining. Like I get an idea, 1 or 2 sentences, and then that's kind of the core of what should each, you know, happen. So I don't want to overdo it because then my imagination, I will feel like there's no point in doing anything if I've done all of that. Like I have to use some of my imagination to figure things out. I'm in between a plotter and a pantser. I'm a plotster. Or whatever. I don't know that it's a romance. I mean, romance is part of it. It's sort of suspenseful, but it's not like super suspenseful. It's definitely paranormal. It has a romantic undertone. That I hate genre. I hate labeling things, but I know that I have to. Right now, I'm just going to concentrate on writing the book and then getting it finally finished so I can editing, and maybe between now and then I'll have picked out an actual genre.
It smells like onions in here. I think people are cooking dinner. It's like really strong.
Discovery writing, yes.
Discovery writing is so much fun. It feels like an adventure.
Yeah. that's why I tend to do just basic planning for the main parts. And then when it comes to, like, I have notes here and I put, she struggles with her magic because, and then I've answered a couple of questions. She has come to terms with who she is and what she is, you know, the mundane and the magical and the different other things, because I don't want to reveal too much. And then I have the betrayal affects more than just the main character. It's the whole, like, circle of people, and, you know, all of the characters, for the most part, the core characters, and that they feel like a family and they all feel betrayed. And then I have like a couple other notes about like a what do you call it? There's a necklace and it's very important. It's the Menzo Ray, or I can't think. It's that, what do you call it? That you drop into and then it's going to be important later, the foreshadowing, but they call it a word or a phrase.
Sometimes they call it an Easter egg. Is that what you're thinking?
Maybe. But so I mean, I know like a lot of parts, and I've got book 1 and book 2 and book 3 kind of one what that one sentence about what it's going to be about. I don't have book 4 done yet, but the Arcanus, that's what the society is called. Or Arta. I've got 4 different words, and I've been trying to kind of Chekhov's gun. That was it. So that's where I'm at, just kind of writing down things. I know I've got a lot more done than I had in the past, and I think part of it's just the, oh my God, what am I doing? Because NaNoWriMo's in less than 15 minutes, and, you know, start panicking.
No panic. Everything's fine. Woosah. What's your method to your madness, Sarah, when you're drafting?
I mean, usually it's literally nothing. Like, I just write things down. And I keep no track of anything. And if I don't remember something, I just write, like, mother in all caps, so that later I'll fill it in. Like, I don't talk about, like, what I'm writing while I'm writing it. I'm getting better at talking about it after, but while I'm writing it, I can't talk about what I'm writing, because I might accidentally figure out what's happening next, and the moment I figure out what's happening next, it's dead.
Do you write in a linear fashion, or do you kind of write wherever it takes you?
I kind of both. I write in the order that it ends up being in almost always. That is not always necessarily linear. So
okay.
I write novels now, but I've written a lot more short stories. And I spent a lot of time writing short stories because I really love them. And so those are a lot easier to write and non-linear. Like, it's much easier to use that device. So.
Oh my goodness, I got
Cheryl
cramps.
said I've got to pick a genre. Persephone said it's fun to be writing and then kind of surprise yourself with what you're writing. Oh yes, I like doing that. Sky is back, and she said she's a total plotzer, a plantzer. Me too. She said her outlines are basic paragraph of the main idea of each chapter. Sky said Sarah's a true pantser.
I am.
Cheryl said, what are the stakes for your character in the larger world? And Persephone said that she loves everyone's methods different.
Yeah, it's kind of fun when you think about it. I'm looking for ibuprofen, y'all. My cramps are kicking in my face. Oh my God. Well, that's the end of that bottle.
But I like that everybody kind of does, like, sometimes you have to figure out what really works for you. And sometimes
Right.
things work and sometimes things don't. When I very first started writing, I wrote poetry and I wrote short stories, and I tried the first couple of novels pantsing, and I would get to the middle and then I would be stuck.
Yep.
And I could not get past the middle for anything. And then I found out about using the hero's journey and tarot. And that was after researching all different kinds of outlining methods. I mean, I tried hardcore Save the Cat. Like, I had scenes, and then I outlined this whole novel with, oh my God, detail. And then when it was said and done, I didn't want to write it because I spent so much time on this outline. I didn't have anything to edit, but I had this entire outline that made me feel like I wrote it, but I had nothing to write. I mean, nothing to edit. So that doesn't work for me either. But using the tarot cards and the hero's journey really works well because I have a visual stimulation. I have enough of an outline, just a little bit of an outline that can kind of keep me sort of focused on the beginning, the middle, and the end, and then some of the conflict that happens on the in-between. But I don't have scenes plotted out. I don't have the whole chapter plotted out. I just have a basic idea.
I end up planning what I'm going to write as I go into a chapter. So what I do at the end of my writing day, I'll kind of write down any questions that have been raised that I need to answer either in the next chapter or in upcoming chapters. And so at the bottom, and I'll have them like in a larger font and in red. So the next day I'll know this is the stuff that you need to work on. And I'll so for the day, I'll kind of think about what this chapter's big point is, and I'll know things like what the murder weapon was. I know how the first person dies, and I'll have an idea of the people who are like the suspects, but I don't plan out who the murderer is at the beginning. That kind of happens organically for me, and I think that that's going to make it a more interesting read for whoever, or at least for me. I don't know. I think that the reader is going to feel like they're discovering it too. You know what I mean? Without me making like forcing that discovery because it's organic. And yeah, I tried doing outlining like the big full outlines and just didn't work. I felt like I'd already written it. There wasn't enough spontaneity because I really do love that process of discovery. I love it. I find that propels me into writing the story because I want to know how the story ends. Who done it? Who died? What were the stakes? Why did they do it? I want to know all those things too. And that propels me into writing it. If I know all those things at the beginning, then I don't have that motivation to tell the story. It's not as interesting to me.
Yeah, that's the same problem I have. It's just like, whatever. And it's just if I know what happens next at all.
Persephone said if it feels organic to you, it will probably feel organic to the reader.
That's my hope. Fingers crossed. We'll see. We shall see. I've been so frustrated with myself because this month I've felt health-wise, I felt really rough. Like this entire month, it's not been a good health month. And so I'm behind on everything. So my plan was to already have these things that I'm finishing up in November. They were supposed to be already done today. They're supposed to be done. So I'm really frustrated just that I haven't been able to stick to my self-imposed deadline. But at least my cozy novel has a cover and a title, which is that was hell on wheels trying to figure that out. And I ended up not even titling it. My boyfriend did. And my novella has a title, and I was looking for like a pre-made cover for it. And the one cover that I found that I liked was in a set of 3, and the other 2, like they had like a beachy look to them, but then one had a merry-go-round on top of it, and the other one had like it looked like a stage with little actors. And I was just like, this doesn't really have the whole beach vibe that I'm going for. Why the hell did you put a merry-go-round on this? Like, what are you doing to me? Because, you know, if it's like a beach town, yeah, they might have some type of you know, festival or carnival. But my beach town is tiny. And it ain't gonna have no fancy merry-go-round. Like, what are you doing? It's gonna have one of those, remember the slingshot thing?
Oh,
where
geez.
like yeah, it's gonna have that where like just where's a swing and you just spin around in the air until you feel like you're gonna die.
It's not a long time for me on that thing.
I can't. It's too much. Oh my goodness. Is it 2 minutes till?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Is it almost midnight on the East Coast?
Yes, I have 2 minutes.
Well, I think that at midnight we should do some writing or something.
Yeah.
Are y'all ready in the comments to write with us or read or whatever you're doing? You know, live your best life, do you?
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go potty. Fix myself some more coffee. So, and did this guy want to join the live part? I
don't know. Persephone has to go potty. Guess it's that time. I'm gonna do a 20-minute timer. Is that good? This music stop playing?
Yeah. I think it might have been.
All right. Oh my goodness.
No,
I can't believe it.
I think you can, Sky. If it's Google Hangouts, I believe you can. I don't know.
Yeah, you can. You just click on the link.
Oh yeah, you totally can join in once it's live.
All right, I'm gonna be right back. All
right, well, it is midnight on the East Coast, and I'm hitting start, and we're gonna have a 20-minute sprint doing whatever we're doing. And Sky, feel free to click on the link and come forth if you'd like. And I'm gonna take this damn thing off my eyes.
Yeah, you're gonna have a hard time doing anything without it on you.
Oh, but that's sexy. Look at that. Fashionista over here. Watch
I like
out.
it.
Thank you. I kind of do wish it was a little hat with a butterfly on the side. That'd be cute.
Yeah. Someone in my neighborhood's very impressive. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
What was that?
He's revving his engine.
Oh.
Aren't you impressed?
Compensating.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like, where is that coming from?
Yeah, I thought I had accidentally opened a window that had autoplay on it. I
was like looking at my tabs, like, what did I do? That was hilarious. Her husband's a musician.
Let him start writing.
Story behind it is, but
That didn't work the way I wanted to.
not heard anything.
Yeah, just busting in do that this up.
I love you. Love you. Don't shut the door.
We love you too, Mr. Rockstar.
I have to get some air. This is the hottest room in the whole house.
My whole apartment is a hot room.
My house stays cold until all the heaters are turned on for like 6 hours later.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
I didn't have this
Yeah,
window open, so
I
I
didn't
didn't know you were
realize.
there, and it surprised me.
Sorry, I didn't realize you could join after like the live stream had already started. So I've always stayed in the comments, even if I've been invited to join the past to other live streams. Now I feel like an idiot.
No, not even. It's all good. It is fine. I mean, look at this. If there's an idiot here, it's me.
I'm loving the mask. Just
Thank you.
saying. I mean, I'm the one wearing pajamas, so, but they're warm and toasty,
Harlequin.
and they're Harlequin. Wait. I love Harley Quinn.
You look like her.
I do.
Traditional Harlequin. Oh shit, dust.
Oh, you're drooling. Stop. The fuck?
Was that the timer?
Oh, you heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Mhm.
my coffee pot turning off.
Oh.
I can't believe it that you could hear that.
Yep.
It sounds so quiet to me.
Echo, echo, echo.
Hey.
All right, that's the timer. So time's up. For the first sprint of NaNoWriMo. Kinda. For some of us. Are you all planning on vlogging for Nano?
I'm hoping to.
I am.
Crap.
I am. I'm gonna do the same thing I did in August, where I did like daily 1-minute clips, and then I'll edit them all together into like a 7-minute long video at the end of each week. Because like 6 of those days I'll be on the road anyways, so yeah.
Yeah, I like to say I'm gonna, but I forget to do things. I'm terrible.
I'm going to try to do a weekly vlog of that same kind of feel, like where you do like a couple of minutes and then put it together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do weekly vlog. For last November, I was planning on doing like a wrap up of the entire month. And I have all the clips. I still have them.
They're sitting on your computer, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Just waiting to be edited.
It's just, I mean, once it's like the next year for it's too late. It's too late. It's way too late.
Previously on Nano.
Right. NaNoWriMo
actually-
2017, a recap.
That's actually an interesting idea. So you could edit them into your new vlogs and be like, this is what I did last year versus this is what I did this year.
Ooh-wee, that sounds like a lot of work.
That does sound like a lot of work.
That's intense. That would be really cool, though.
I would legit not choose to do that, though. If that was my choice, I'd be like, nah, that's too much.
I'll think about it. Maybe I could do something with them. Because it's kind of a shame to have like a crap ton of clips that I haven't done anything with.
But like, talk about the worst time to decide to add a bunch of editing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also true. That is also true.
Like,
yeah.
Maybe another month, but maybe.
You all have strong, compelling arguments.
I'm thinking I might just open up a new folder on my desktop and just put NaNoWriMo blog. And then that way, you know, the clips will just all go in there and then it won't be so, you know. I just can't, I don't want to add a bunch of, I can't do the daily videos unless I did it live. I don't want to edit videos that I don't have to edit during NaNoWriMo.
I did it for a couple years and then I realized that it was terrible. So I decided not to do that anymore. It was just a lot of extra added like pressure that you're putting on yourself. So, but I think it's a useful thing to do, you know, if that's what you're into, but
at least once. Everybody should try it at least once.
Yeah, like one good time.
I tried it once. I did it in April. I think there was only a couple days that I actually missed, but I was filming, editing, and uploading almost every day in April, I believe it was. Oh my god, never again. That was why I decided to do like the 1-minute clips and then edit them for like a weekly vlog thing. Because I can film and then edit all at the same time on one day.
I did the everyday vlogging last year for October. I did Vlogtober. So I did it every day leading up to Nano. I was so tired on December 1st. I was exhausted. I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with everything.
I quit.
Yeah.
I'm done with life.
The first time I did the vlogging every day for Nano thing, I was recording daily tips and stuff for Nano. And that was like a totally different kind of like pressure. So I was like, oh, so I need to tell people some stuff that's going to be useful for them while they're doing this thing. Oh, great.
Right.
I can't even think of 30 useful tips.
Yeah, I mean, I was struggling by the end of it. I was like, I don't know.
What I kept thinking is all that time I was putting into editing the videos, filming the videos, that kind of stuff, I could actually be writing.
Yeah.
True story.
So I was like, no, you know. So now it's kind of like a, you know, I can talk for a minute or grab the camera and do like Sky said, a minute worth of this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing, and throw it all together.
Mm-hmm.
And hey,
Yeah, it's just a matter of time, and there's not that much in the world.
One of my big problems was I didn't want to film at my disgustingly messy desk. So I was like, every day I was like, maybe I need to clean this up. And then I was like, okay, so that's another 20 minutes. And then like, I leave it a mess until I clean it up. And I clean it up and I clean it well, but it's a mess otherwise. But 20 minutes every day to clean up what I've messed up because I've spent the whole day writing and just piling crap up next to me. It just wasn't good.
Yeah, this my current look of my desk is it's rough. It's rough here. It's rough.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at my kitchen. I'm sitting at my kitchen table, and you can't see it because I have the wall behind me. But in front of me, the rest of the kitchen table is covered with random stuff.
Yeah.
That's just how it stays these days. We don't even eat. We don't even eat in the kitchen anymore.
my grandson has all his Play-Doh stuff all over my dining room table, and I don't really have anywhere to put it. And until I can find a place to put it, it's been sitting on my dining room table because it's one of the few safe places he can play with the Play-Doh.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to move it, and it's been there since his birthday was in July, and he had a bunch of stuff. So it's been on my dining room table since August. It is now almost November 1st. Well, it's now November 1st, and we haven't eaten at our dining room table since then because I've got to figure out where I can put it.
Yeah.
And it's just me and my husband here most of the time for dinner, unless Victor is here. So we don't eat in the dining room unless we have family over.
Hey, Justin.
We don't even have a proper table. Yes. So.
Yeah, we do not have a dining room. We have a small kitchen and a small living room / office. Like, there's my couch, you know, and a bedroom and a bath, and that's about it. Oh my gosh, I can't wait till we move somewhere where like the amount that we're paying now for rent would be like an entire large apartment. I'm not meant for the tropics and the prices. I'm a simple country girl. I need some trees that have leaves that fall. I need to actually experience autumn. I need to be able to wear cardigans and not be sweating. I need to be able to bitch about snow.
I'll really be able to bitch about snow
winter.
about this time next year.
I love winter. It's my favorite.
I hate winter. Like, I hate it so bad. But winters in North Carolina are very, very different from what a lot of people out west experience for winters. So there's that too.
Yeah,
you guys get actual snow.
Yeah, winters in South Carolina, we get snow like every once in a blue moon. And now we do have pretty fall. We do have a pretty fall and a pretty spring. But along with the spring and the summer come the humidity and the pollen. So, yeah. And Persephone said cardigans are proper writing attire.
Seriously, like how can I be a real writer if I'm not wearing a cardigan while I'm drinking my coffee and complaining about not writing enough?
I get really excited if it snows during Nano, and everybody else hates me. But I like it.
So I'm not gonna lie. I actually do like snow. I don't like ice, and here that's mainly what we get. If there's snow, there's like 2 inches of ice underneath that snow, and it's not even pretty snow. It's the ugliest snow in the world.
Yeah, my whole town is pretty ugly, so the snow doesn't really waste that much.
You snowy racist.
Like we're a terrible place. But it's like it's still pretty. I don't know. It's the only time that like you can't hear gunshots. It's lovely.
Where the hell do you live?
Huh?
I said, where do you live?
In Rockford, Illinois.
I know nothing of Illinois, so
It's not good. We make like all kinds of like do not move there lists.
oh,
Yeah.
fun, good times.
Regularly. Like on Forbes and stuff, those lists that are like the 10 worst places to live. We're usually like number 3.
We're in
crap.
there. Where I live, not where I'm from, but where I live now is on that list too, I think.
Yeah.
And one of the most crime, I live in Sumter, South Carolina. I'm from Charleston, but Sumter is pretty high up there. I want to say it might have been number 7 or number 3 for the most crime ridden compared to the geographical size of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, every time you turn around on the news, but we get black ice here, like Sky was talking about.
Yeah.
We get
Mhm.
here.
Yes.
And they close the schools. They close people think that it's snow up north. They're like, oh well, it's just snow, and you're like, no, it's not just snow. If it were just snow, it would be okay. But it's black ice and it's slush, and our power lines are not made for snow. Our roads aren't made for snow. We don't have snow plows like up north does. So everything, like for the most part, gets shut down. And the people who do have to drive, half of them don't know how to drive because we hardly ever get it. Last year or the year before, was that 2015 or 16? I think the flood was 2015. Which year was the Snowmageddon that black ice Mageddon that we had? Like we had everything. We didn't have power for a week.
Yeah.
And I wish that would happen at Christmas, but it never happens at Christmas. It happens at like the other year. I think it was in January or February.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even at a good time. I want to see snow at Christmas, and then that's it. For a week of Christmas, and then that's it.
I'm for that. So this year, we got the ice and snow mix, mostly ice, the first week of January. And the reason I know this is because I've used up all my sick days mostly in January for this reason. Wednesday, that first week of January till like Friday, Saturday, Sunday of that first week, it skipped a week, and then it did the same thing the following week after that. So the first and the third week of January was when we got the ice snow mixture. And well, it's more common for us to get we get the ice mixture every year, and it's always in January. So I don't know why it always surprises people. But it always never fails to surprise people. And I live in the middle of the country, and the end of the road slopes down towards the stop sign. And every year, it never fails. There's at least one accident at least one time per day right there at that intersection. And I'm like, I've already told all my bosses, no, if it snows, I'm not coming in because I am not going to be that one person.
I hear you. Black ice is the worst.
Yeah.
It's great. There's no traction. Like, it's just.
And it's great weather to write in. Like I could write when it snows or when it rains, but if we lose power because of the ice, then I'm stuck handwriting. And my laptop's only gonna stay charged for like so many hours unless I can recharge it. And with no power, I can't recharge it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make me happy.
I worked in a psych facility for 8 years, and thus I couldn't just like take off work because it snowed. And now that is not the case. But so there was like 1 year that it snowed 18 inches, and like there was one lady who had 4-wheel drive who drove around the whole city and just picked up people and transported them to and from work, and that was her job for the day.
Mm-hmm. I remember
Like,
that happened when my mom was
yeah.
working at a nursing home. She was a CNA, and they had like one person who had like a good SUV that could drive around the mountains and stuff and pick people
Yeah.
up. Because I mean, when you're at a facility like that where there's people that are inpatient,
Right.
you have to have workers.
Right, and you can't exhaust the workers who are there just because they were there when it happened. You know, like that's really detrimental to everybody involved. That's how abuse happens. That's how like all these horrible things happen. So like you really can't do that.
I remember one time my mom had to stay over. It was like 2 or 3 days that she was stuck there, and it was awful. I think I just saw someone walk past with like Halloween lights on them, but I couldn't see the costume because it's dark out. Womp womp. But yeah, oh my gosh, I think they called it like the Blizzard or 94, but nowadays I'm sure that doesn't even rank. It was like, because every year the snow is just that much worse. The rain is that much worse. The hurricanes are that much worse. It's crazy. But I like a good snowed in day. I think if it's going to snow, it needs to, make sure you can't leave.
Yeah.
You just stay in the house. Mm-hmm. Have hot cocoa.
Well, Persephone is behind me in time zone, me and Sky. So pretty soon it's going to officially be NaNoWriMo for her as well. Stephanie just came in, I guess, and Stephanie said she wanted to know if anybody else was in the Eastern time zone because she said it's already NaNoWriMo here. We are. We started calling it at like 2 minutes till. We'll go back to a writing sprint soon. But it helps, I think, for me anyway. I know we've talked about it before. Doing writing sprints, when you do it for like 15 or 20 minutes, when I could take a break in between and kind of I get a lot more done that way. It feels like, and it usually when I take the break, I get up and go walk around. So, all right, go get me something else to drink and things like that. So it's time for me to quit the coffee now if I want to actually go to sleep. But yeah, I like doing the sprints. I think the sprints are really helpful.
I do too.
Same.
I am also in the Central Time Zone, Persephone. So
20 more minutes before it's nano time for you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think that we have to wait until it's nano here because it's like 6:30 here. So
are you 6 hours behind or ahead? Because I can never remember. Behind. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
literally if you feel like you're behind the last day of Nano, you can change your location to Hawaii so that you can add like 5 or 6 more hours. So many people do it. Like on the NaNoWriMo site, I think there's a huge influx of people from Hawaii and like the Pacific Islands. It's absurd. But
on the very last day of Nano, everybody's from Hawaii.
It's funny. Oh,
that is hilarious.
Boyfriend.
I kind of feel like I usually write a lot more in that very first week, and then I slow down some. I do normal on the second week. I get a little bit behind on the third week, and then I spend the last week catching back up to where I was a little bit behind. Because that third week is usually when Thanksgiving, and I mean that's Thanksgiving. and that always throws me off. That's why I try to write extra in the first week.
I always have a really good time during Thanksgiving getting writing done because CJ, who is always on my streams, she comes in for Thanksgiving. She spends Thanksgiving with my family. So during that week, we spend a whole bunch of time writing. So that actually is like my good week during Nano usually.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I wish that my writing friends lived anywhere nearby. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's 5 hours for her to get here. So it's not like,
right.
It's not a small thing, but she lived here for 7 or 8 years, I think. So like, and she literally lived with my parents for a period of time. So she comes out and spends Thanksgiving like with my whole family.
That's nice.
That is nice.
I don't know where we're going to live after we move from here. I guess we'll all find out together.
Where would you like to go, though?
At this point, I just want to live closer to my mom because she's in her 70s and her health isn't always the best. And I just want to be able to just get to her if anything does happen. Because right now, it's incredibly frustrating. I hate it. It's too far.
How long is it?
About like with two layovers, generally speaking, because we have to try to buy cheaper tickets. It's like between 16 and 22 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a hell of a haul. Like, it's no joke.
Well, it's the other side of the country, literally. I mean, it's you know.
Yeah.
West Virginia is not that far from me. I could actually drive to where Tamara's family is in a day, you know.
Yeah, I think Virginia's like an 8-hour drive for me.
Well,
Not even. It's a 4, depending on where in Virginia. Because like Roanoke's only a 4-hour drive for me.
Well, I'm in West Virginia.
West Virginia, okay. Well, that's...
Yeah.
David and I went out there when he was driving the big truck. He was over the road. And I remember thinking, we stopped at this really cool truck stop and it had a Starbucks in it. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I said, this Tamara's from here. This is where Tamara's mom lives. He was like, oh, she was there. We could actually swear, you know, to see if we could meet her for coffee. I said, no, she's not here. She's in Hawaii. She's from here.
I tell you what, I like actually going on road trips. So once I'm actually back on the East Coast somewhere, because that's hopefully what we'll be doing, I plan on doing some road trips, and I definitely want to do some type of book tours or something. Like, have so many things I want to do, and I just feel like I can't do it out here.
Well, I was trying to figure out what would be halfway between South Carolina, North Carolina, West Virginia, this side, and say Texas, where Persephone's at. And I think Amy's in Persephone. I mean, Amy and Persephone both live in Texas. Yeah. I was trying to think of where would be like halfway. And then I was thinking, well, maybe I wouldn't want to go where you know, because you're talking like across and diagonal, and I'm not like,
sure. Probably like Indiana somewhere.
Yeah, I was probably
maybe.
I'd need to look at like an actual map and like.
I am geographically challenged, so me even putting any kind of input in there is like the worst thing ever.
Same. That's what I'm like. I need a map.
I need my GPS.
Yeah, right.
I can read a map. I can totally map out my route if I had a map in hand, but don't ask me where anything is, because like I can't tell you what state's beside me right now. I have no idea.
It also depends a great deal on where in Texas you're talking about too.
Yeah, true story.
There's a lot of where in Texas.
Amy doesn't live that far from her.
Say that again.
Amy doesn't live that far from Persephone.
Okay.
No, that Amy outside of Houston.
Yeah, Texas is huge.
I have family in Texas.
My ex
I lived in Texas when I was a kid.
They all live in Texas. But yeah, I was hoping, like, I loved going to Tennessee. Like, if I could choose a place to move to, I would probably move to Tennessee. I would like a cabin out near a creek or something in Tennessee.
Where would I like if with no restrictions of any sort, I'd probably want to live in Washington State.
I am moving to the place that I wanted to live like basically all my life. I'm going to Montana next year. I'm going to be in the mountains with the real snow.
I was in Montana once for a work conference like years ago, and it was so expansive. Being from a state that's all mountains, like being able to look for miles and miles and miles, and then there's like a huge mountain range, but it's like in the distance. It was incredible. It was so beautiful. Even in like where we were, there wasn't a lot of anything. There was like a lot of farmland, and that was about it. There's the McDonald's.
We'll be the closest McDonald's is actually an hour away from us, honestly, and we are only 2 hours from the Canadian border where we'll be moving to.
That could be convenient. Get you that visa, girl.
It's time to get a passport.
I'm just saying, you know.
Stephanie wants to know, where in West Virginia are you from?
Fairmont. It's north central West Virginia. If you're familiar with it at all, if you're familiar with West Virginia University, that is 30 minutes like north of where my mom's lives. So, and that's where I went to school. West Virginia University, home of the Mountaineers and couch burnings and drunkenness.
What, couch burnings? I feel like there's a story behind this.
I mean, I don't know. People would just put couches outside and put them on fire.
CJ lit my couch on fire one time.
On accident, though?
Well, yeah, but she blames the cat.
It's totally the cat's fault.
She's not even here to defend herself.
No, but we have this argument a lot. She knows. It's nothing I wouldn't say to her face.
True. Oh my goodness.
But that's the smell, though. That is a unique smell, a burning couch.
Especially if it's got polyester in it.
Yeah, and ours was an awesome like the muted tones, flowers all over it. It was disgusting. It had no business being in my house in like 2006.
I was trying to see the pictures behind your head.
Well, this is my husband and I. That is a Nightmare on Elm Street poster. This came from an art show locally. It's like a Wednesday Addams alien thing.
Cool.
This is a gunslinger picture. I don't know where that came from. This is Spaceballs picture. That's Doug Bradley, who plays Pinhead, signed. And that's PJ Souls, who's in the original Halloween, signed.
Nice.
I loved Pinhead. I thought that character was so cool.
Yeah, he's super creepy.
Yeah. But it was really
definitely. Cool. Yeah.
Man, the Dark Tower movie was such a letdown.
Oh, see, I adore it.
It made me
I
so
absolutely
sad.
loved it.
It made me so
I
sad.
really did.
I felt
haven't
like
seen it, so
I am an expert at seeing two separate things as two separate things. Like I almost never have a problem with a story because like I think the book was so much better. Like I almost never do that. So that's a personal thing. It's my strength.
it's a superpower.
Yeah,
I don't have that. I was just like, damn it. This is not
what happened in the book.
This is not right.
My husband has not read the book, but he likes a lot of the Stephen King stuff, and he has read some Stephen King, but not that book, not any of those books. And he was not very happy with it. He was like, what in the world? He's like, I don't, and he felt like, and I felt like And just out of the description of the characters in the books, I kept seeing Matthew McConaughey as the gunslinger instead of the bad guy. And I had a really hard time with the visual image in my head of Roland, because when I saw Roland reading the books, I saw Clint Eastwood. You know, I saw this, but I really love Elba. What's Idris Elba?
Yeah.
He did a really good job with the character, I thought. And I loved the way that he carried himself. But I don't know. I had a hard time. It had stuff in it that wasn't in the book at all, and then it had stuff from the book, and some of it was wrong. And I've been reading that book since I read that book in like the 80s, and I've reread it and read the series and reread the series. And when I watched the movie, I really had to separate it, and that's hard for me. If I had never read the books, I think I would have enjoyed it more. But have read the books over and over again, I had a hard time with it.
I guess when I was watching the movie, it felt more like a YA fantasy rather than like a Stephen King adaptation.
Well, they're doing this new thing now where they're trying to make everything freaking PG-13.
Yeah.
Like, and that poisons a lot of things.
So I didn't like that, it made it feel very like, I mean, and it's great to have things that are kid friendly, but like
not everything. Don't
take something that the original was definitely for adults and then water it down so that kids can watch it too. Like that's not fair to me.
Right. Yeah, but it's a big thing. And that was when they released Secret Window. I don't know if any of you've seen it, doesn't really matter. It's based on a Stephen King short story. They made them cut stuff out because Johnny Depp was starring in it and they wanted teenage girls to go see it, so they made them cut it out. Like, that was the earliest I ever heard of that happening. But they made them like cut it down because they didn't want it to be too scary and get rated R, because then those teenage girls wouldn't go see it for Johnny Depp.
Oh my God. Just no.
That's how they did it, though.
There are certain things that just don't need to be watered down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you have even heard of Stephen King, it's going to be at least a little bit.
Right, he's graphic.
It's going to be graphic, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not all horror, but it's graphic. I mean, like, The Shawshank Redemption is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. However, it's also really grotesque in a lot of places.
Yeah.
It's gross. There's a lot there to really be grossed out by.
It's definitely more R than PG.
Oh,
right.
Definitely.
Right. But it's fabulous. So like that doesn't negate it being fabulous just because you made it R.
Right.
Like,
just because
calm down and
for adults.
It's one of
just calm down and let it be for adults.
It is one of the best movie adaptions of anything he has written to me ever. It's one of the best. The Green Mile and Shawshank Redemption are two of the very best.
The Mist is amazing too.
Yeah, I like The Mist.
Persephone found that the halfway point between me and Burgess is Bowling Springs, Virginia, according to Google. She says she's not sure what route they used. So, Bowling Springs, Virginia.
Well, depending on where, 95, I live not far from I-95, so depending where, which way.
There's New Wave Girl. Hello.
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 She didn't know you smoked, Burgess.
I have a cat hair stuck in my mascara.
Every show and film is for younger and younger audiences. Yes. That I don't understand. They redid it, the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't watched it yet. I watched the old It, and I've read the book numerous times, but I haven't read the newer one. And I was going to do that for Halloween, so I may be doing that when I get off of here.
I really enjoyed it. If you're like
Dumbass.
possibly going to be annoyed that it's going to be different, prepare yourself. It's like it is one of my very favorite books. I've read it like, I don't know, 20 times or something. So like I know it inside and out. It is wrong. It is entirely fucking wrong.
That is one of the few
But I
books
really enjoyed it.
It really, there were parts in that book as I read it. I read it with my kids when they were in high school. We all had a copy, and because it was one of the few books by him that I hadn't really read because a lot of my friends were like, it'll scare you. Well, so me and my kids, they were both teenagers at the time. We all started reading it at the same time, and it's one of the few books by him that actually scared me because I was a mom. And there were pretty graphic parts, and yeah, go into it thinking it's completely separate from the book. Well, I will.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. If you take it for what it is, it's definitely an adaptation of the book because it's everything's set up the 27 more years. So like the kids are in the 80s.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's automatically changed. Huh?
Like Stranger Things for me, I love that show.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was in high school. I graduated from high school in 85. My husband, though, who is 10 years younger than me, that was when he was, he was definitely in middle school, these kids' ages when this was going on. So the music and the clothes and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, to me, it's, I remember all of that. My younger cousins were wearing those clothes, and I was listening to that on the radio on my way back and forth to work back then, the music.
Right.
So like a lot of that, when they do these movies, like when they do it, I haven't seen that version, but they did it really well, I thought, with Castle Rock, and they did it really well with like Stranger Things and stuff. They actually do make you feel like you're in. And Castle Rock is something that, like, there are parts of it that I absolutely love. And then there are a couple of things where I'm going, he's alluding to something because I don't remember that being in any of his books ever. But
I'd just like to point out that we are 3 minutes away from hitting NaNoWriMo in
I just
Central.
noticed that.
So 3 minutes, and then we'll do a sprint, and then we'll chat a bit, and then we'll probably have to wrap it up because I need to make dinner.
A second one where they're adults. Are you talking about it, Persephone?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I have not watched the new It, and I read it years ago, and I reread it years ago, like well over a decade.
Little Ben Hanscom says fat boys are only allowed to love pretty girls inside, and I cry every time.
Oh.
Yep. And that's like before anything happens. Well, I mean, Georgie happens first, but that's before anything else happens.
Oh. So,
there's a math magician.
Oh, I think someone saw you. They saw you on the.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh no!
I registered movement, but not what it was.
Did you get
I saw the arm and the beard, or the hair.
Snickers. Nice. 50% off. Oh yeah. 1 minute until we write some words or read a book or whatever you're doing. I'm not the boss of you.
That's
do you want to do 20 minutes or 15?
I am indifferent.
All right, we'll do 15. Then we can chat for 15. Oh my goodness.
I love talking about the books, different books.
Me too.
I just read one of Sherilyn Kenyon's books, and I'm like, oh my God, why don't I have all of these books?
Which one did you... Wait, we're about to hit 7, or the top of the hour.
It is 1 o'clock.
All right, so I'm gonna hit start and let's sprint for 15 minutes
Okay.
or whatever you're doing.
Oh, no wonder. It's a level 10 quest. I'm way out of my safety zone. Fuck you guys.
Time's up.
Wow.
The second nano sprint of the night, or the first, or the 0, depending on where you are.
I got 114 words.
I got 232 words, but considering it took me like 5 minutes to get my computer to come up, I don't know why it does that.
I ain't counting because it ain't nano for me, so I got words.
I edited pages.
That's
Stephanie
cool.
got 677 words.
Dang,
Nice.
girl.
Go, girl.
15 minutes, 600 words.
That, well, you know,
I like it.
She's writing that erotica.
Ooh, that steamy stuff, man.
And it's
Steamy.
Halloween. And it's Halloween. You know. So my question is, do you have hot cocoa or wine?
Why not both?
Oh, she could always have chocolate liqueur in her hot cocoa, you know.
Like you're thinking.
I have like right around 600 or so for Nano already. So
That's awesome.
But I'm gonna get off of here. I have to go. I have to go do some dishes from dinner, and I need to brush my teeth. And I guess, well, actually, I need to get a snack and then brush my teeth. And then I'm gonna take the makeup off and sit in the bed with the laptop and write for a little bit before I go to sleep. Vodka and Sprite. See, there you go.
Here, let me record y'all real quick so that I have this part for my vlog.
Oh, yeah.
Have to put the battery in there. That shows you how much I've been using this thing. No card. Where's the...
It says no.
All right, here's a card. Let this card be one that has room on it. All right. Now what say you? Oh, I should probably take the lens cap off. Oh my gosh, I'm doing great. All right. Are you going to focus? Aren't we on autofocus? Do we not do that now?
It took me forever to learn how to use my camera like that with the focus thing. Once I finally got it, I got it, but it took me a good while.
All right. This little furry thing is like the sound muffler in case I actually go outside, and I just leave it on there because it doesn't matter. All right. We are now recording. Say something to your...
Hello, happy NaNoWriMo 2018.
Wait a second. I have to turn the volume up because I am dumb.
You got it on your headphones.
Yeah, I unplugged the headphones, and then I realized I need to turn up the volume. It's a process. Okay, now say hi. All right, say hi, y'all.
Hello.
And we have been doing this. Oh, that's too close. Sorry, I'm close. We're doing the NaNoWriMo jump off for the Eastern and Central, and we're not doing it for Hawaii because I'm not a terrible person. So, here. So y'all will see me start it. And if you want to see this part, and I'm gesturing to the camera because I'm good at this, then you can watch this live stream. You can rewatch it. It should be uploaded by now. All right. That'll do.
You're so good at this. We're so good at this.
So good. professional level.
I say that in every one of my videos now. I'm like, I'm so good at this. I'm fantastic. I know exactly what I'm doing.
There we go.
Oh Jesus! I should have turned that down before I plugged that back in.
Oh,
Oh, that was dumb.
And now I am recording. Because yes, this is my NaNoWriMo beginning. I've already written. So yeah.
Hello.
So we were doing the live write-in chat for NaNoWriMo. And Tamara so kindly, even though she's in Hawaii, which is the state everybody wants to live in at the end of NaNoWriMo, she kindly agreed to she did a write-in for all of us. So y'all have a great one. Thank you. I really enjoyed this.
I did too. This was fun. We should do another one sometime in November. If y'all have the time, if we can make it happen, we should.
I have actually thought about doing like every other week a live video just to say hello, how Nano's going, to talk about it some. So maybe if we split up some of the videos, we could all kind of do that. Well, you know, we could all kind of, that way we could all chat, and it doesn't have to be every single week. But maybe, I think we're all on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are all.
And maybe if we wanted to, we could split it up so that maybe one of us could do a video every week. That way we could chat, and whatever day is cool, and who can show up does. Because when you do a live video, you don't have to edit. There is no editing.
True story.
That is
unless of course your name is Sky and you have some Disney stuff show up in the background of your video and you get thrown into YouTube jail and you have to edit out sections of your live stream in order for it to be posted again.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
I've had that happen. Yeah, the girls were watching during one of my live streams. The girls were watching Sophia the First, I think it's called, and you could hear the theme music playing in the background, and there's like only like a 5-minute clip, and I got thrown into YouTube jail until I edited that single 5-minute clip out of the live stream.
Wow.
They took it down as soon as I had cut off the live stream, and they were like, they sent me a very nasty grab. I was like, oh, okay, I'll fix that.
Whoa.
Oops.
Yeah, David filmed me doing art journaling in Starbucks in the last year, and they had music playing in Starbucks, and I had to mute the sound and do a little bit of time lapse and put music to it myself because some of that music was copyrighted.
I'm only level 5.
Yep.
That is definitely true facts. But in case y'all didn't realize this, we were all we were all part of Project Criteria this year, and some of the people who were chatting were also involved, like Persephone and Wolfie was there. And Project Criteria is this annual thing that I do where I collab with as many authors who are interested. Usually, it's about between 10 and 13, and we post videos leading up to NaNoWriMo where we talk about our experiences, give tips, all that jazz. I think that it is really helpful. And I have a link to that in the description, to that playlist, if you haven't checked it out, and you totally should. I also have a link to each of these ladies' channels down in the description. So check out the channel, subscribe, and since we're about to head out, because I definitely need to eat, why don't y'all give any shout out to something that you're doing you want to promote before we end this tonight? We can start with you, Sky.
Oh, of course we would start with me, and I have nothing. I have a YouTube channel. I post tag videos every other Tuesday. I do like writing or day in the life videos every Thursday, and then Burgess, you mentioned doing a live stream. I actually do live streams on Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. However, the next 2 Sundays, I'm going to be on the road going to and from Vegas because I'm going to Vegas for a full week for a business and marketing conference. So I will not be I will not have a live stream the next 2 Sundays. But after that, I'll be back.
I'm so jealous. I really want to go to that conference.
I've never been to Vegas. I want to go to Vegas.
I haven't been to Vegas either. And the sad thing, everyone's like, you're going to have so much fun gambling and drinking. I'm like, but I'm not doing either of those things.
Right.
Probably better.
Knowing my luck, yeah.
Sarah?
I am doing a live stream tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Time. We'll do writing and stuff. Sometimes we chat more than others, but we will be writing hardcore because it's Nano. So yeah.
Woo.
Over on my channel, obviously.
Link in the description.
Where else would I have it? I don't know. At my house. Just everyone on YouTube, come to my house.
We could totally teleport there.
Wait, you mean like
do it.
Friday, right?
Just beam me up.
Yep. Yeah, Friday. Sorry. Well, it's technically Thursday.
For us, yes.
Yeah.
Not for tomorrow yet. Sorry.
Tomorrow, it's Friday.
Wait, what's happening? I'm doing a live stream on Thursdays. So I was like, wait, are we doing it at the exact same time, the same day? I'm real confused. That's right. We did this so that we could hit midnight in their time zones. Cool.
Let's confuse Tamara.
I have a YouTube channel called Burgess Taylor, which is art journaling, planning, bullet journaling, and regular writing stuff. It's my vanilla channel. And then I have a Journey with Burgess YouTube channel that I do the tarot and writing and anything else that's spiritual. It's my sort of other channel, the non-vanilla channel. And then I have a website called Journey with Burgess that I just revamped, and WordPress has not transferred everything over. And I'm on Patreon, so I do a little bit of everything, except finish my novel, which is what I'm hoping to do by the end of this year. So, yeah, that's me.
You can do it. And my name is Tamara. I just published Blood Roses and Honeysuckles September 28th. So that is available basically anywhere where you buy books online. And as I said before, I'm going to be doing live streams every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern here on this channel. Hopefully we can bring on some special guests and stuff throughout this month. It'll be a good time. I'm also going to be doing a weekly wrap-up blog type of thing, so that'll be fun. Sign up for my newsletter, and that link is in the description. I'm going to be posting and giving away this novella that I'm finishing up via the newsletter. So people who are new to it will get it, and I'll, of course, be giving it away to the people who are already subscribed, of course. But yeah, so that's a lot of fun and good things. And I thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. This was a lot of fun. I had a great time.
So you are doing live streams Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Scott's doing them on Sundays, except for the next 2 Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing your live streams on Fridays, Sarah?
Yes.
Okay, I usually do my Writer Wednesday videos on Wednesdays, but I could actually do live streams at like 8, which would be Eastern Standard Time. And then that way we have a mixture of days to choose from, and then we can all talk about it later if y'all want.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Are we?
Hopefully hopefully, and I know she's here, hopefully Persephone will be able to join us sometime soon for a live video again. Sometime soon, Persephone. You know, there are a lot of other people out there, but we had a blast when me and Tamara and Persephone, and we had a blast. The more people, I think, the better.
I agree.
I like the different perspectives.
Yeah.
I do too.
And when you're trying to do it by yourself, it could be very difficult because it's kind of like having a conversation with yourself.
I've definitely noticed that with my own live streams. Yeah, because like my live streams being on Sundays is hard because everyone's at church. So, yeah, that's fun.
I'm not, but I can't make morning happen.
Yeah, that's too early for me. That's too.
Sorry.
I'm asleep. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning.
For yep.
So I'm either like dead asleep or really trying to get there.
It feels like 4 o'clock in the morning for me, but it's probably because I haven't gone to bed until like 4 o'clock in the morning. And so 9 o'clock, that's just too early.
Well, the stupidest part for me is that I go to work every day at 9 a.m., like Monday through Friday. Like I have a clock-in job. So why can't I do it on a Sunday? I have no idea.
Your body says, no, I refuse.
Nope. Not today, Satan. You will not get me up at 9.
Right. My body's all like, you could get up at 10:30. Like, damn it.
Well, I'm going to go. Thank you so much, Tamara. I really, really, really enjoyed it. I had so much fun. I'm so grateful that you did this.
Me too.
Yes, it was a lot of fun.
Thanks for making videos this month. Thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
thanks for having us.
Everyone who's viewing this right now or who will check it out in the future, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And again, check out all them links in the description. And happy NaNoWriMo, y'all. It's happening.
It is.
Buckle up.
Happy NaNoWriMo.
You're right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.